Alright guys, welcome. I am Weeooo, and this is the first video I have recorded. A bunch of people on the server that I am a part of, the Aurora Server, which mostly all of the people that will be watching this will be a part of, so I don't really need to mention it, but yeah, a bunch of the members of the server had asked me to start up a Let's Play, start recording, and that's definitely something that I have wanted to do for quite some time, so I figured, why not, you know? Once I got the correct software and figured some things out, I figured why not give it a shot. I definitely enjoy watching other people on YouTube, and whether it be the Minecrackers or people less popular, people on the server. No matter who it is, as long as it's good content and enjoyable, it seems to be entertaining and something that I like watching. So I figured why not take a shot at it, see what we can do. So, like I said, most people that will be watching, at least, the first few videos that I put out would be people on the server. So I figured, why not kind of show what I've done so far and kind of give a tour of my place. Quick little tour, kind of explain why I've done the things that I've done and kind of what I was thinking. What inspired me to do what I've done, and so without further ado, here is my tunnel. It's easily recognized from anywhere in this Nether hub. Whether you're on the top, bottom, coming out of the portal from spawn village or spawn or someone else's Nether track, easily just boom. You see it in the corner of your eye, boom, redstone. This is Weeoo's Jungle Treehouse with village. That is correct. All right, so we'll take a little trip down here. As you can see, big fan of spruce logs, spruce planks, and smooth sandstone. I think it looks well together. Nice contrast of colors. Got the nice potted plants with jungle saplings, which will kind of tie in with the rest of my build, as I'm sure most of you who are watching would be aware of. This is my potion room. I figured having a potion room in the Nether would be a good idea, seeing as most of the ingredients, magma cream, glowstone dust, blaze powder, gas tears, and of course, good old nether wart. They all come from the Nether, so I figured why not have a nice place to store them and make potions and whatnot. So I thought that was a cool idea. We also have incorporated into the build nether brick and quartz, which of course are both exclusive to the Nether. So I've got a little place to put some quartz ore and some random quartz blocks that I had from building this here. Got obsidian, which obviously isn't exclusive to the Nether, but kind of felt tied in, as well as some soul sand and random nether brick. Whether it be slabs, bricks, blocks, what have you, they're just, put in there for the next time that I need them. Alright, let's carry on. Let's not get too sidetracked with things. Don't want to make this video too long. I'm sure you would like to actually get to doing things rather than just kind of showcasing the place. As things kind of load up here, we can take a nice look at what we've got here. This is my treehouse, as you can see. And of course, we've got the sandstone pillars with potted plants, saplings. Kind of ties in the whole theme of the place. A server member, Aurora, who I will probably link in the description. If you haven't seen his videos or heard of him, go check him out. He was nice enough to build me this yacht. After a little mishap of his yacht, I threw over some supplies to his place, and he was nice enough to just build me a yacht. What a guy. So nice. That's kind of his theme. He's kind of got a yacht theme going on. It's quite cool. But I felt it was quite a nice touch, a perfect spot for it, especially with an ocean biome. Why not? And it's even got orange wool, my favorite color, orange. Perfect. Alright, let's take a walk around here. As you can tell, I have bone mealed like crazy. I think it looks nice. Makes it kind of look a little bit mystic, almost, you know? I don't know. I just thought it was a nice touch. Have flowers everywhere, as well as nice little kind of pathway. Kind of looks like it's been, you know, it's quite old, a little bit ruined. Got cracks and moss growing everywhere, and the grass seeping through. And thought it was a nice touch. As you can see right here, we've got a couple buildings. We have a farm for cows and sheep. Now, I don't necessarily use a lot of sheep or wool, but I did use some cyan, so I thought it was necessary to throw some sheep in there, just in case I need some more. So, also got this room right here, which is mostly for aesthetic purposes. I just felt like throwing up a building. After being on the server for a few weeks, building trees and growing trees and placing leaf blocks and tons of beans and trees and more trees, I felt like I needed to let my creative juices go and build an actual building. So we kind of threw this up together. It's not necessarily a building to house things. It's not a house or anything like that. It's just more for the aesthetic purposes, kind of like a nice little nature exhibit, I guess. It's got a nice little water feature with a tree growing out of it, glowstone, nice little creek, little water feature seeping down there. Got a bunch of spruce trees, because I'm sure you have noticed, I like spruce. I like the logs, I like the wood, planks, half slabs, stairs, you name it, I love it. I love the dark chocolatey goodness. I think it's just great. Not that I'm not a big fan of the other woods. I mean, other than jungle wood and planks, not a big fan of those, but I mean, they're okay, but definitely a big fan of the spruce. Oak's not too bad. Birch, you won't see much birch in my builds, but it's definitely good to not get stuck in one way of building. So we'll definitely have to try to go down the stairs and then fall. Perfect. But yes, it's definitely not good to get stuck into one building motif. So we'll definitely have to throw in some birch and some strawberry rainbow colored jungle wood for sure. I don't know where the rainbow colored. I don't know what. Just ignore that. But yes. So why not real quick? We will show you the downstairs. We've got kind of, I guess, this is a jungle treehouse for PvP. That's the main reason that this has been built. It's nothing but PvP. No, it's not like a house or fancy rooms on different layers. It's all about PvP. I thought it'd be a cool, kind of like a new way to do PvP. It's not like one flat, giant room with a bunch of different rooms and hallways and stuff. It's a little bit different. So yeah, with the entire structure being for PvP, you gotta have a place to put your stuff, kick back, relax, take a nap every once in a while. And this is it. So you come down the stairs, inside the tree, of course, and we've got two ways you can go. To the left, to the right, we've got two ways. We've got down here, we can go down to bedrock for a mine, so we can mine our materials. And then on the other side, we have all our supplies. This is kind of my main room to house everything, basically. Anything that's not Nether related, it is in here. Other than Netherrack, which I haven't had a chance to take over, but we'll definitely have to do that one of these days. I think it'll be, it makes sense. Get your all your Nether stuff in the Nether. I think that's kind of cool. But yes, so as you can see, take a look around. We've got your normal, storage type stuff. We've got the cobblestone. You got your dirt, your sand, assorted brick items, or stone items, I should say, not brick. A lot of things I do are for aesthetic purposes, as you can tell. Potted plants, little things like that. So we've got, where we get dyes and flowers and stuff for plants and potted plants and stuff. Saplings, stuff like that. Seeds, growing stuff. Your basic stuff. And we've got item drops. All types of good stuff over here. Lots of leather and bones. Lots of bone for bone meal. We've got mechanical stuff, so rails, I should definitely bring these blaze rods over to the nether room. But yeah, slime balls, stuff like that. Just random paper. Throw it in there. Random stuff. Throw it in there. Obviously food. Random foods. If you're wondering what this is, it's a chocolate-covered pick and a carrot truffle. If you're watching and you gave that to me, you know who you are. You know who you are. Got our wood, logs, nice shift-click friendly. Gotta have that. Have you ever seen so much coal ore? Yeah, I like coal ore. Big fan of it. So I'm not opposed to mining it. A lot of people go on caving trips, just go for the goodies. No, I get everything. Lots of ore, or lots of iron, gold, lapis, some redstone, and redstone repeaters. We'll throw those over in with the mechanical stuff. That kind of makes sense. We'll throw that over here. Oh, there's already some over there. Perfect. Got a section for smelting stuff, so we've already got some iron. Is that not cooking up? Oh my goodness. Gotta solve that problem real quick. Alright, let's do that. But yeah. I'm sure everyone's seen sections like this in your house or in your friend's house or people's builds. Gotta have a section to smelt. Come back from a long caving trip, you're gonna have to smelt some goodies for sure. Up here, we have a little section for if I need to repair any items or do anything that is involved with an anvil. And my ender chest right here, so a lot of times if I need to repair stuff, it's like my diamond stuff, just bust out the diamonds, repair, rename, do what you gotta do. I mean, most of that stuff would be taking place in the end farm, the ender, but, you know, there's the odd time where you need to do stuff here, so why not? Had some extra anvils, so that's why there's 3, just threw them there. Got your lava bucket and your water bucket, easy access to both. A section for music, you know, everybody loves music, right? Now, don't hate, this is my favorite record. I know a lot of people don't seem to like it, Etho included, but it is my favorite. A lot of people seem to hate on it, but if you hate, that's cool. I'm sure there's some records that I hate as well, so everyone's got their own preference. Easy access to pearls, because easy transportation, you need to get anywhere, pearls are your friend. So, why not take this time to kind of show you around the treehouse. Got the main section that starts right here. This is kind of the first area that I started building in. Figured we'd kind of wrap ourselves around the tree and have some areas. Now you'll see a lot of these sandstone structures throughout the build, and they are of course for, you know, hiding behind and taking cover and, you know, having good lines of sight. You know, you got someone over there, come down the stairs, take them out, you know, do what you gotta do. Hide behind that, then come over here, do your thing, little PvP, melee, why not, you know? So, you know, that's the main thing that I try to do when I've been building, especially in this PvP area, is lines of sight. You know, where are people going to be coming from? Where are they, you know, where are you going to be? Where are they going to be coming from? Stuff like that. So, let's take a walk around. One thing I've tried to do, and I think I've done a pretty good job of it, especially in the bigger, you know, the sections over here, is having multiple ways to get to different areas. So no matter where you are, you're not going to be necessarily stuck. You don't want to, you know, come into an area, turn around, see 2 enemies from the opposing team, know that you are stuck and you can't do anything. I mean, you can jump off the edge and die from fall damage, but, you know, that's not necessarily what you want to do. So try to incorporate stuff like that. We've got a little enchanting area here. Now I will have to move this to another area in the, probably down below in that area where we have the storage. Probably make a little area there. Take this stuff all out so we can use all of this for PvP. We wouldn't want that to get in the way, so random vine climbing, of course. It's usually fun. But yeah, nice little... One thing I had tried to do, kind of got away from when we thought about doing a PvP arena here, is to have like little houses that each server member could have throughout the treehouse, but that might be something I do in the future, but not at the moment. Definitely trying to go with a PvP theme, so. But, you know, we could have random buildings and random houses. I think that would kind of be cool too, so. But not for the original purpose that I had thought of. Kind of just random pathways back and forth, so you can kind of, like I said, not get stuck anywhere. I'm sure you can see the King of the Ladder in the foreground that I have right here. This is a section that I have been working on recently, trying to tie in this section of the treehouse with this one. Because we want to have, like we say, multiple ways. You don't want to just have to come through this area or down below. You want to have multiple ways to get throughout the entire treehouse. And this is actually the first time that I have worked or done anything in a jungle biome, so I think it's turned out quite well. I didn't really have a game plan or kind of know what I was going to do at all when I first started, but I think it's turned out quite well. You'll notice all of this section doesn't have a lot of the smaller details, so it doesn't have cocoa beans all up the side. We'll definitely have to do a lot of that work in the future here. You'll see these trees, these 4x4s that are incomplete. They will eventually, you know, this whole thing would like to go all the way up to the build height, so it's going to be pretty massive. So yeah, but what we'll have to do at the top of these is build kind of a resemblance to this, you know, make it look like it's in a natural tree. I've done the best I can on this one. I think it looks pretty natural. Maybe a little thin, you know, maybe a little bit thicker would have been nice, but, you know, that's definitely what she said. But yeah, I think it looks pretty natural. We'll definitely have to do these. There's a couple of these throughout the build. There's one over there, one over there, one over there. So definitely not just going to leave them like they are. We'll have to incorporate a treetop to them. Every once in a while you'll see these random staircases that go to nowhere, but like we've said, they eventually will go to somewhere. So yeah, let's take a walk around to the side. Do some jump running. Definitely the best way to travel. And as you can see, we've tried to incorporate different methods to get to different areas. So we've got staircases leading to them. You can go up these vine walls, and you can also go up the trees as well. So you're not limited to just one way of getting to any area. And of course, we're gonna have incorporate ender pearls into this. Now we'll have to worry about fall damage because obviously ender pearls, if you don't have, you know, diamond boot, you know, some nice boots with feather falling 4 or whatever on them, you're gonna take a little bit of damage. And if you're pearling multiple times in a row, that can become an issue. So that's something we'll have to work on. But that's another method of transportation throughout this is pearling. But for the most part, you can kind of just take the stairs and the trees, the vines, what have you. A lot of the sections will be pretty close together, so if you have to, you can kind of jump off one to the other. You will take damage, but that's, like we said, you know, that's just something we're going to have to worry about. I'm not quite sure what I have planned for everyone's setup, like if we'll do leather armor, iron armor, probably iron. I think that would probably be the best way to go. Maybe enchanted, I'm not sure. Luckily, we do have, like we've said, the Ender, so mass enchants will be pretty easily handled. We won't have to worry too much about that. Nice little, you know. And we've also tried to incorporate if we've got multiple ways to get to some areas, and then some areas will have only, you know, you can get from that top to this bottom through this way, but you're not going to be able to get back up. So it's kind of cool, you know. If someone's right there, you're not necessarily going to run towards them because you're not going to be able to get to them, and they'll definitely be able to get to you. So that's kind of a cool thing to incorporate. Tons of these sandstone structures. I think this is going to be an area highly congested. You know, stairways, so you can kind of see up in here, and you may have noticed we've got glowstone in a lot of the trees to kind of help brighten the area. It's obviously daytime now, so you can't really get the full effect, but that's one idea that I have tried to keep throughout this entire build, is keeping things bright throughout the night so that this place can be taken advantage of 24 hours a day. Try to incorporate as well multiple areas, so you can be up top, you know, on this pad right here, having a battle with people, and then oh, you gotta dip, gotta get out. So boom, come down here, you know, quick escape. You can go this way, you can go this way, you can go back over there to the stairs, what have you. You know, oh, all of a sudden I'm over here now. Now what? You know, what you gonna do now? That's what I thought. But yeah, I think the place is coming together pretty well. Have some steak to replenish our hunger and our health. Now, one thing I'm definitely going to have to do is, you'll notice a lot of these tree pads, not necessarily over there in the beginning, but here, they're all pretty bland. I mean, they're one layer thick. They don't have any detail to them. That's definitely one thing that I plan on doing on all these pads, is adding multiple layers of leaves, have, you know, added contours and texture, and, you know, so it doesn't look so bland. And not only that, but it will help take away some of the see-throughness, depending on what graphics setting you're on. You know, you don't want to necessarily be able to see through it too easily, so having that added layer or two, probably just one, you know, but having that added layer really helps. But yeah, we've got random jack-o'-lanterns throughout too, mostly on this side because I've just kind of started incorporating it, but it does help with lighting and it helps with adding some color. You know, we don't want to necessarily only have green. I mean, everywhere you look, it's green, brown, a little bit of sandstone. It's nice to incorporate other colors. So one thing we might do, an idea that kind of just popped into my head, is maybe some potted plants, maybe some, you know, whether it's, you know, roses or does the yellow flower have a name, or is it just yellow flower? I'm not sure. Not necessarily sure what flower that would be. Is it like a tulip or something? What is it? Just yellow flower? Oh, just flower. Okay. Alrighty-o. Today I learned. But yeah. So, lots of areas to take cover. We've got the potted plants with the ferns to kind of add a little bit of, you know, a little bit of, to jazz it up, make it look nice, but also add some color, like we've said. Makes things look really nice, I think. Tons of area, just tons and tons of areas to have some nice PvP, and, you know, maybe we can get it right through that hole. That's not too bad. But also got a beacon here and a beacon on the other side, both with speed 2. And luckily, they happen to reach throughout the entire treehouse. So that has been good, because I definitely want to have speed 2 throughout the entire build, and I don't want to have areas where you can't have it. You know, you can't reach it, so that would be unfair to, you know, you're over here and you can't necessarily run away as fast as somebody else. So a nice little building here, some cyan wool, one of the only uses that I have actually used wool in my builds. This building doesn't necessarily, it's not, obviously not finished yet. I think it doesn't have a purpose yet, but it will. Although it is kind of just random, I just wanted to build a random house. I'm not sure. What I could do is turn this into a building where everyone comes when they come to do PvP, and we'll have like kind of like a locker setup. So you have a chest, and you can put your stuff in it and do what you got to do. Maybe have like, maybe this could be the armor room. I'm not sure, but actually that would actually be kind of cool. Maybe you come in here, you put your stuff in, you go up to a second floor, get your armor, get your weapons and your stuff and your supplies, and that could work out. But at the same time, we don't want a building that people are going to enter in and kind of get into PvP fights in here. I don't know, maybe we can put some gates and kind of just say that this building is off limits for the PvP. I'm not sure. We'll have to kind of come up with what we're going to do for that. One thing you'll kind of notice is I have just kind of chests and crafting tables throughout, because I kind of just get sidetracked and start building one thing over here, and then I go over there and do stuff, and then people want to talk on TeamSpeak and do PvP and stuff, and come over and check their stuff, so I'm kind of have stuff scattered throughout. More cocoa beans, thank you, Hilarious. You have no idea. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, let me know. I believe it's Hilarious. Hilarious. I don't know if it's Hilarious or Hilarious, I'll just call you Hilarious. But yeah, thank you very much for the beans. It's highly appreciated. Gonna have to do a ton of beaning of these trees, so Thank you very much. I don't have a farm. There is a farm set up at spawn, but he actually, at his base, made a really, really good farm, so he's just been giving me tons and tons of beans. So, thank you, thank you, thank you, dude. I will definitely be sending uh, a gift your way, gonna return the favor for sure, so definitely have to do that. One thing I've tried to incorporate is water features, and not only is it a water feature just for the aesthetic purpose, but it's also a mode of transportation. You can go up and down it, obviously, so it's kind of a nice touch. We're on a little bit of a hill here, so I figured I would add a nice water feature on both sides. Now it's not on the same level, but I think it's nice. It's got smooth stone on both, and I think it looks really nice. I've seen this before in people's builds, and it looks really nice. So it looks like just a natural occurrence of a rock formation, you know. I think it looks really nice, and we've incorporated. That was a horrible jump there. Incorporated glowstone to not only help light up the place at night, but obviously keep mobs from spawning on the pillars. Now we can't put torches up there. You can have them on the ground, but I don't want to put them on the top or even on the side of the pillars, so I had to add some glowstone to make sure nothing's spawning up there. I haven't seen anything spawn, so I think we're good. Yep. Give you a look on this side. I think it looks really nice. Luckily, I seemed to find the perfect spot for this beacon here in the pyramid underneath the water. A couple pieces of glass to make sure the beacon can go all the way up to the top, and like we've said, it reaches the entire place, so we've gotten lucky. I mean, if we have to add a third or a fourth one, no big deal. I mean, you gotta go farming for wither skulls, but that's no big deal. I mean, that's part of the game, right? We should actually look forward to things like that, so another crafting table, we'll get out of here. But yeah, got a nice desert biome to the south of us, which is really nice. Especially at night. Most of this area, of course, I'm sure you'll have already guessed, is completely lit up. Don't want any bad guys spawning here, so definitely lit up the entire place. But having this desert right next to you, especially once we get past the area with torches, there, a ton of mobs spawn. So if you need any items, if you want practice with your bow or melee or what have you, easy opportunity for that. I know before we did the second UHC that I was involved in on this server, let's just see who's on right now. Yeah, just me, Hilarious. Yeah, I came out here and did some practice with my bow, Grabowski, and it was good because I definitely needed some practice. It's always good to get in some practice, especially with the bow, kind of get your targeting down. So come out here and peg some enemies from a distance. Got a nice, I guess, I wouldn't necessarily call this a sugarcane farm, but when you need sugarcane and you don't necessarily want to make a giant automated farm, this seems to work pretty well. I just run through, punch, 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 and when you're done going through this, probably takes, a minute at most, maybe 2 or whatever, but you go through it like 5 stacks, if not 6, so I mean, I could try and set up some elaborate, massive farm. Don't get me wrong, I think massive, elaborate farms are great. That's part of the game. That's definitely something I want to get into, but to start off, it's not necessarily something I had in mind, so just having this manual farm is fine by me. I have no problem with that. Made some steak. Now, I would have to say steak is probably my preferred food source in the game. I mean, it's easy enough to have a cow farm and luckily, we have a looting 3 sword in our ender chest, and I just bust that out anytime I need to get some meat and some leather. It's just a random chest I throw there if I have any extra wheat after I'm done. We have the farm up there in the village that we'll show you in a second that I used to feed all of these guys. If you haven't been to this section yet, I'm obviously talking to fellow server members. Got a nice little basement that I have planned down here. And this would be the, obviously this isn't the end of it. We dig down here. As you can see on the map, we are underneath the beach and then the water, so we definitely need to go down a little bit here. And this would be an area where I could make some automated farms, whether they be for food or what have you. They would be down here. Some nice redstone contraptions. I think this all looks pretty nice. I haven't had a chance to do the ceiling yet, but I think the stone brick and green leaves look really nice. Now there's one area in this right here, which obviously it's a biome change, so it looks really, really bad, but not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. We'll have to figure out. Maybe change the corners, just, each of the corners into something else, but it's got to change. I mean, especially, depending on what texture pack, it might change, but this texture pack and these settings is just, it's basically a piss bush, Come over here and pee on the bushes. So, doesn't look too great. Of course, as you can see, more just kind of random building supplies. Just randomly throughout the build. Nice little area we can kind of take a look at. Get a nice view of the place. As you can see, we've got potatoes wrapped around the build. Now, that isn't necessarily for eating, but I think it's kind of nice to have. Ooh, okay, so that's definitely, this is one area. I didn't realize that. I was wondering why I was walking a little slow, but we seem to be out of the. Okay, I guess it might be over here. We seem to be out of the beacon area. Yeah, we're definitely past it. So we'll definitely have to throw a third one, probably over here somewhere. But for the most part, all of the PvP area has been covered, so that's good. But yes, I guess we can go up this tree. This is the tree that supports the village. As you can see, that's kind of what I was talking about before. Texture, adds a little bit of depth, makes it look natural, not so man-made, as well as the trees that I've put in place to make it look as if they are supporting the tree paths. I think it looks nice. I don't want to have too many areas where it's floating. I mean, there's certain areas where it's kind of hard, but we definitely have to come up with something, because I don't want to have mass pads that are just floating magically. I mean, obviously it's Minecraft, it doesn't need to be supported, but I'd like it to be. So you can come in here and get pearls if you need them, and like the sign says, just throw it up there, go for a walk, and you're good. No fancy contraptions with tripwires or anything like that. You just throw a pearl up, walk in any direction while the pearl is in the air, and you will land on the upper pad. Oh yeah. Alright. Hey, Mr. Golem. Keeping the place safe? Now, of course, all the villagers are just huddled into like one building. Don't you just love villager mechanics? I mean, pretty much, I know at least myself, and I wouldn't be surprised if most people, when they think about building a village, they want the place to be busy. I mean, I know it's nighttime, but even throughout the day, they kind of just stay in one area and they don't interact with buildings. They kind of just, it kind of sucks, really. I mean, I'd like them to be to interact with stuff and come over here to the farm. Pretty much the furthest they get away from these houses is like right here. They don't go past this. It's like I don't even need this like gate or these wooden blocks to kind of stop them from escaping if they were to, because they don't even come over here, so I don't need to worry. But enough of ranting about villagers. If you can guess what that is, good on you. If you can't, that is a villager breeder. I don't think it's working at the moment. I don't even know if there's a villager up there anymore. Well, that did not work, but I didn't see one. I don't hear one, but I'm too lazy to check. Seem to have a nice number of villagers. At the moment, I didn't plan on I don't plan on making any like villager trading setup or anything like that. This is kind of just for the aesthetic purpose, to have a nice little village. Now that is annoying. I don't know if that happens to you guys a lot, but the random like do when you're running, that just really is annoying. Obviously my fault, clicking wrong, but still gonna blame the game, because that's that's what we do. But yeah, got our king of the ladder here, or king of the vine, if you will. I think it's a nice little feature to have in. a lot of times when you're on this server, I don't know if it's the same on every server, but a lot of times people get bored with their own stuff and kind of just come over to your area and see what you're doing, and so it's kind of nice to have a little, a couple mini games you can kind of play, you know. So I haven't had a chance to really use this yet, but I think it would be kind of cool. It goes up to the build height. It doesn't go to bedrock, obviously, but I think it's tall enough. Got glowstone randomly throughout it to add some light so it kind of glows, and then you can catch back on, which is kind of really nice. So I think it's got the potential to be, to be pretty cool, and hopefully used quite frequently, because there seems to be a lot of people that tend to come over here. I don't know if they just have nothing to do at their place, but well, it's also nice to interact with people on the server, so they tend to come over a lot. So hopefully we can get lots of use out of that. That should be fun. But yeah, I think I've done a pretty good job showing you the place so far. Nice little lily pad walkway. I'm told that's pretty nice. But yeah. Hopefully you have enjoyed what we have seen so far. Hopefully there'll be many, many more videos to come. Not necessarily of this variety, more of, getting things done, building and exploring and mining and all that fun stuff. But to kind of have a first video and kind of test the waters, I figured I'd throw this up and see what we could do. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Weeooo. This is the Aurora Server. Oh, perfect time. Have the sun rise. It's nice. But yes, thank you for watching. This is Weeooo. I will catch you next time. Wow, that didn't sound like Kurt at all. Alright.